Hello, and welcome to the December monthly forecast. I'm Marga, and this is a monthly astrological forecast for agents of evolution. All of you out there willing and able to stay at your evolutionary edge in service of our collective evolution. December, I think it's safe to say, is the most dramatic month of 2021. And we've already had some pretty dramatic months, so that's saying a lot. Christmas is likely to be kind of intense. It's often intense for some of us emotionally. It's kind of a mixed bag for some of us. That it has its joys and yet it also has its trials. I think we may be adding the trials of the world at large. Might be visiting us at Christmas as well, so that might just add this extra layer of intensity to our celebrations. What I'd like to do for this month is talk about the themes that will be with us, and then kind of go into some of the dates that you may want to keep in mind for the month. Okay, so the first theme that is with us in December is an experience of revisiting love, really just looking at, what is love to me? What does it feel like? What am I needing to let go of in order that I can actually experience love again? It's almost as if many of us have gone through so much heartbreak and loss and grief over these past 2 years that our collective has, sort of had a dampening of the love capacity. And there's something coming back online in December, almost like by choice. That, okay, yes, I'm in grief. Yes, there has been this loss. Yes, certain things are ending. Yes, there have been betrayals. Yes, there are things that I could never have fathomed happening that have happened. And yet, there's something so beautiful about the love that is possible just by being alive, just by being here on this earth, experiencing each other, experiencing what we get to experience on a day-to-day, a sunset or a red hollyberry that peeks its head out in winter. That this kind of quality of astonishment and awe and a certain kind of regenerated regeneration of love and the capacity to love is coming back online in December, almost as a result of the many trials and losses and betrayals and horrible things that have happened. So when it comes, open the door. When love presents itself to you, open the door. Allow yourself to really feel it. Allow yourself to go there with your loved ones. I think a very appropriate question for us to be asking ourselves during the month of December, with the Pluto conjunct Venus retrograde that we're going to have toward the end of the month, especially right around Christmas, is how do I transmute all of the losses, all of the pain, the suffering, the betrayals, the horrors into beauty? How do I transmute all of that into beauty? You know how the mind can't resist a question. It's always looking to answer the question. So when you pose it with a good question like, how could my life get so much better beyond my wildest dreams? The mind goes to work trying to work that out. In this month, I really encourage you to take a look at the darker sides of life, the failures, the grief. Take a look at them for the beauty that is there. Allow that regeneration of love and beauty to come to you. Another theme for the month of December is digging deep for courage. This is due to a solar eclipse that we're experiencing December 3rd, Friday, December 3rd at 11:34, I believe it is, p.m. Pacific time is when it peaks. It's not visible in the United States, but it still affects us all worldwide. It's a total solar eclipse, so it's a quite potent eclipse. And we had a similar solar eclipse last year in the month of December. And at that time, Biden had just won the presidential race. And Jeshta, the lunar sign that this solar eclipse is in, is associated with elders and statesmen and leaders and wise people, and the ones that we come to, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, those that we go to for counsel, for advice, for protection, for understanding. That solar eclipse last year, you could say, hampered Biden's capacity to get into office and then to be the president and to do his presidential duties. A similar situation is upon us now with the solar eclipse in Jeshta again. So for the next 6 months, eclipses last for about 6 months until the next pair of eclipses come. So until end of April, May of next year, of 2022, this solar eclipse is in effect. So again, there's something about leadership and courage and the capacity to show up as a leader. So some of our leaders may be invisible to us at the moment, or really kind of underground, or hamstrung in some way, or their hands are tied in some way. So that means that we are the ones that need to rise and have that courage that they have already given us. These elders have already passed to us this baton of courage. So take up that baton. And courage doesn't mean you have to go out and fight a social justice fight, unless that is your dharma. And for many of you watching, I know it is. But for those of you who get a little bit freaked out when I say things like that, rest assured, it's that courage is whatever is yours to do. What is the thing that only you can do? Where is the place that you are a leader in your life? And digging deep for that courage in this month is part of the game. Another theme is adapting to the many changes that are coming our way in stages. So this means not trying to take the whole thing on at once. It's not advisable to take a really huge risk that you think might solve all your problems in one fell swoop. It's a much better plan of engagement to take things as they come. There are going to continue to be many changes over the next few months, and so we don't have the full picture right now. So it's very hard to make decisions about our individual lives and even our collective lives. It's hard to make major decisions right now, and even on into I'd say until about March. It's going to be maybe even April. It's going to be really difficult to make big decisions that you hope will last a long, long time. Instead, just do what's right in front of you. Do the next available thing and allow the changes to happen in stages. So the next theme is about irreversible divisions. It's almost as if the divisions in our culture get cemented into place in December. We're experiencing another pass of the Saturn square Uranus transit that we've had all year, all of 2021. We already had 2 passes of this transit, and this is the 3rd pass happening now in December. The Civil War of the 1800s happened during a Saturn-Uranus square. So though the face of the war, or the look, or the way the war is waged is different in the 21st century, it is still a war of divisions. So these divisions could happen on a few different levels. On the one hand, we're already seeing it in the material level, divisions in how some of us believe public health should take place, and others of us believe it should take place another way, or divisions in how money should be allocated, just material life divisions. Then there are what I consider to be the more lasting divisions in terms of decisions that groups of souls are making right now. Some groups of souls are making decisions to stay at a certain level of awareness, evolution, and others are making the decision to move on. And this division is almost cemented into place in December. When I say making the decision to stay at a certain level of evolution, what I mean is, if you're holding on to grudges, if you're holding on to ideas of lack, if you're holding on to a sense of victimhood, if you're holding on to the stories from the past that keep you in anger or in fear, you are making a decision to stay at a certain level of evolution. It's time to give it up. Okay, and the last theme is about the Saturn Uranus square and all of the things that represents. So that is about sudden changes in value and the way that value is structured, or the architecture of power, and how power and resources are distributed throughout our world. Also, new ideas about security and what actually represents security. What is material security going to look like as we move forward? So these are some of the themes of Saturn square Uranus. Last month, we had a Mars-Uranus opposition. And this Saturn-Uranus square comes on the tail of that Mars-Uranus opposition. Some of the collectives manifestations of both of these transits kind of happening back to back are the Build Back Better bill. That is such a Saturn square Uranus kind of thing, pouring billions of dollars into the US infrastructure. And the way it came about was very Mars opposite Uranus. A lot of fighting and kind of back and forth and flips and contentiousness, maybe some explosions. There were many other manifestations of that Mars opposition Uranus, including the possible overturn of Roe versus Wade, with that Mississippi abortion law that was passed, banning abortions past 15 weeks of pregnancy, and what that is leading to. So we'll see how that winds up in the court, in the Supreme Court. But that kind of a thing is very much in line with Saturn square Uranus, Mars opposite Uranus. Non-fungible tokens is a very Saturn square Uranus kind of thing. NFTs. So the idea that something that is non-tangible can have tangible value. That's Saturn square Uranus. I still expect to see some developments in cryptocurrencies, and also just in the economy in general. Some of the things we've been seeing that will continue to play into the December events are the supply chain gridlock, inflation, the housing crisis, So, all of these things are stirring the pot. They're all going to be contributing to some of the events that we see in December and continuing on into the new year. The United States is experiencing its Pluto return in February of 2022. So uh, you could think of this as a reckoning for the United States of looking at its dark past and needing to contend with it. Uh, so let's all just send all of us prayers and blessings that goes really smoothly and peacefully. Okay, so some dates you may want to be aware of. December 3rd, solar eclipse in the lunar sign of Jeshta. So this is where that piece about courage comes in, and digging really deep for courage over these next 6 months. December 8th, we have Mars square Jupiter. This may bring a lot of energy and a kind of dynamism to the month of December, which can be great for individuals, for our different projects or our different adventures. But with the other transits that are going on, I encourage you to be a little on the safe side, even though this Mars square Jupiter is going to infuse us with a lot of enthusiasm and fun and the desire for adventure. December 11 through 15, we've got a Venus conjunction Pluto. And then December 19, Venus goes retrograde and conjoins Pluto again on Christmas Eve for a few days again. So, what this means is that piece about love and revisiting love, really getting to how do I want to love? And what do I need to let go of? What do I need to forgive? What do I need to move on from in order to fully love again? So, this is where that theme is going to be playing out in this Venus Pluto conjunction. We have a full moon on December 18th. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, come find me there at margalauba_evolution. I always do a full moon and a new moon little report there. December 21st, the winter solstice, a great moment to do some ritual or ceremony, connect with the earth, go inward, be in a place of stillness that allows you to experience that deep rejuvenation that can come from really diving into the depths of winter. December 24th, Christmas Eve, Saturn squares Uranus for the third and final time this year. Comes around again in October of next year, but this is the final time this year. So it's a big one. It doesn't mean you shouldn't travel. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be with loved ones at Christmas, but know that that energy of change and newness and maybe a little bit kind of disruptive, kind of not so cozy, not so warm, not so friendly feeling may be present in the Christmas celebrations. It could feel kind of cold. So, and it can feel a little bit ouchy with Pluto conjunct that retrograde Venus. We're kind of revisiting a lot of the memories of the past where love was not quite as bright as it could have been. And maybe in some cases, where abuse or neglect or betrayal was present. And so you're going to want to really allow those things to be released. Today's solar eclipse affects President Biden's chart. So whether you agree with his policies, whether you voted for him or not, send him some good energy as a person, because as a human being, he deserves everyone's kindness and support. And he's going to be going through a tough time. So send him some good vibes. All right, everyone, you'll be hearing from me again toward the end of the month. Until then, happy holidays. I hope you're able to really dig deep for courage and stay in your heart. Enjoy yourselves, and I will see you toward the end of the month.